Okay, so now that we have a pretty solid grasp on angles, we're going to look at segments in circles, and we're actually going to rely on the things that we learned in lesson 1 about the angles in order to solve for segments, because what we're actually going to do is we're actually going to pull out similar triangles, and just as I always have, I'm going to ask you to redraw these triangles so that you can find corresponding parts, set up your proportion, and then solve. So let's take a look at some scenarios here. In this first scenario, I've got two intersecting chords. Now, the first thing I want to do, this will make our life a lot easier. Let's go ahead and label. Let's call this A, this will be B, I've got C, D, and E. So let's label those intersection points. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw in some auxiliary lines. I'm going to draw in two of them this time. And you could have chosen to put your auxiliary lines here and here. It's the same thing. Basically, what I've done now is I've created two similar triangles. And if you don't believe me that they're similar, I'll prove it to you right now. And actually, this is part of the process. So in order to have similar triangles, I need to prove that at least two angles are congruent. So I've got vertical angles right here. That's the wrong tool. I've got vertical angles right here. And then for my other set of angles, I want you to notice that this right here, angle DCE, that's an inscribed angle that cuts off arc DA. And also angle ABD is an inscribed angle that intersects arc AD. So I've got two inscribed angles that both intersect the same arc. That means those inscribed angles have to be congruent. And once I get here, now I can redraw my triangles. So I'm going to redraw my triangles. I put my angle measures in. I've got this one here and this one here. And then I draw the other triangle the exact same way. In fact, to illustrate this, I actually use my copy and paste tool when I'm on here. So now I can put in my labels. In this triangle, we're going to have D, and this is going to be C, and this is going to be E. In the other triangle, this is still E over here. The two rockers is B, and so that means that this is A up here. Now I can go ahead and draw and add my segment lengths. So DE is 6, CE is 12, AE is 4, and BE is X. That's what I'm being asked to find. And once I get here, now I can plainly see my corresponding parts, which allows me to set up my proportion, cross multiply, and solve. I don't think I need to show you that part in the interest of keeping the video short, but that's how you would proceed from there. Let's look at the next scenario. So we're going to go ahead and label this one as well. Let's label this as B. Let's label this as C, D, and E. And it looks like A is already labeled, so we're good there. All right, so here's how I'm going to draw in my auxiliary lines this time. I'm going to draw in one from B to D, and I'm going to draw one from E to C. So let's find our angles to prove that I've got similar triangles here. Well, I've got a reflexive right here. That's going to be a reflexive. And then here again, I've got that same situation. I've got an inscribed angle here and here that both intersect arc BE. So that means they're congruent. So now I'm going to redraw my triangles. So this is going to be, it's going to be A right there. That's going to be C right there. I'm going to use my copy and paste tool. Okay. And now I can label. So this is C, this is E, and this is A. And then for my other triangle, this is A, this is B, and this is D. Now, if you need to take a moment and pause the video so that you can see those triangles in both diagrams, go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and label my parts here. So it looks like, what do we have? We've got AE is X. We've got AC is going to be 10 plus 14. So that's going to be 24. And then what else do I have? I've got, let's see. So I need AB. I can see that AB is 10. And then AD is going to be 16 plus X. So that's X plus 16. And once again, now I can see my corresponding parts. And when you cross multiply and solve this one, you're actually going to get a quadratic equation, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to do it. Instead, we're going to just focus on the fact that that's our proportion. You would cross multiply and solve from there. All right. One more one more complicated situation, and the last one is super easy. This is the only one that's like a little bit weird when we're talking about setting up our auxiliary lines here. So here's how this one looks. I've got a tangent and a secant here. So I'm going to draw an auxiliary line from B to D, and then my other auxiliary line is actually going to go from B to C. And so one of my similar triangles, and I can demonstrate to this a little better later, one of my similar triangles is going to be ABC, and my other one is actually going to be ABD. So it's the bigger one and this one here on the left. Okay, and let me show you why that is. So first of all, I've got a reflexive angle right here. Got that one. And now here's the other one. I've got an inscribed angle right here that cuts off arc BC. And my other inscribed angle is right here. It also is an inscribed angle that cuts off arc BC. Now you might be wondering, wait a minute, Mr. Burke, how come this angle is not an inscribed angle that cuts off arc BC? And remember, I mentioned this in class, when you have a secant and a chord, that doesn't establish any relationship. It has to be a tangent and a chord. So secant and chord doesn't mean anything at all. So my congruent angle is actually this one here and this one here. Those are my inscribed angles. So I'm going to go ahead and redraw my triangles like always. Put that there, that there. I'm going to use my copy and paste tool. Okay, let me label. This is B, this is C, and this is A. So this is the triangle right here on the left-hand side. My bigger triangle, this is still A. This time, my double rocker is at D, and what's left over? B. So that's my bigger triangle right here. Okay, let me plug in my side lengths. AB is X, which also appears here. AC is 10. And then AD is going to be 10 plus 14, which is 24. So now I can set up my proportion from my corresponding parts. X over 24 equals 10 over X. And then you can proceed from there, cross multiply and solve. And the last little piece that I want to talk about here is something that I've already mentioned in class. Let me get rid of these things that decided to come along. Technology, it's wonderful. Okay, the only thing that I want to say about this is please recall that when I have two tangents drawn from the same point, those tangents are congruent. And that's a useful piece of information as well. So basically, if I were to connect these, let's just keep in mind that this is always going to be an isosceles triangle with this angle congruent to that one, and the tangents are also congruent. And that's it. That's all there is to it.